But if you look at the financial operations the government goes through to finance its spending, it's required by law, not by the physical monetary system, but by laws passed by politicians to say that you must sell bonds equivalent to the deficit, and you need to look out over a whole year of spending. So you're having weekly or even more frequent bond sales. As
Right.
soon as when the reserves are created, at the same time they're sold into bonds again. So the reason reserves don't change fundamentally is that they're being converted into bonds all the way through. You only had the dramatic increase in reserves under Ben Bernanke, or as I prefer, Ben Bernanke. I prefer to mispronounce his name,
Yeah.
because he thought that would encourage lending, because he doesn't understand the monetary system. So the reserves were trivial because they were being converted on a weekly or even more rapid basis from being reserves into being bonds by that bond sale
So
process.
they're basically recycling the reserves that they had very,
Yeah,
very, very quickly.
yeah,
So there didn't need to be any more reserves to buy the amount of treasuries.
that's right. And like
Okay.
if there wasn't sufficient reserves to buy an amount of bonds on offer at any point in time, then to enable that, all the Fed had to do is to buy some existing bonds off the banks or the non-bank financial institutions. And by buying the bonds off the banks, it then converted bonds back into reserves again,
Right.
which meant whatever the current deficit spending had to be financed by, my God, those bonds sold. Wasn't that amazing?
The
So
the
the
the the
whole
banks
idea
would
that,
have basically the liquidity to buy those bonds or buy those
yeah,
treasuries.
yeah, yeah. So it's a managed system, and managed very well and understood very badly.
Okay. So, let me try to unpack this just for the viewers here.
Yeah.
So Janet Yellen sells a treasury, we'll just say for $1,000 or something like that.
Mm.
Basically, we'll just call it a primary deal. We'll just call it a banking entity just for the sake of
Yep.
keep things simple. They're going to go ahead and use reserves for that. And then what they're going to do is they're going to, so those reserves go down into the TGA, and then the TGA spends that money back in. So that creates a commercial bank deposit liability, but then those reserves go right back into the banking system, which allows them to buy another treasury if
Yep.
they so choose. So there's always, in your view, there's always quote unquote money there to buy the amount of treasuries. That's never an issue, because the bank controls that through the amount of reserves in the system.